Hey guys, excited to join you guys again this week. Wanted to give you a little bit of an update in regards to the client that I saw last time or talked to you guys about last time. So he was in a fit of rage. I think I told you guys, and his wife. He was talking about separation and wasn't sure really how things were going to work out because just of his anger, and they had to call the authorities, and the authorities got involved, and so I just want to give you a little update with him. Uh, it's unbelievable, to be completely honest, how awesome things have worked out with this guy. Where what God has done in this guy's life is so cool. Basically, the next meeting he came in, and he was pretty broken with his time, that he realized, like, oh man, I really screwed this up. And we had a really great in-depth conversation about how he really wasn't relying on God, and he was broken, he was weeping, had a confession how he wasn't relying on God, and he was trying to take control of things, and how he knew what was best and what was better for his life. uh, he also knew that by just that general confession, that wasn't going to make things better. That he definitely had to continue a posture of repentance, and just towards his wife. And so we've kind of been on that long road back, I guess is what you could say, to uh, just reconciliation with his wife. They had an anniversary since I last gave you an update, and that went all right. They still were not sleeping in the same room or the same bed, but they traveled together. That was a positive sign. He had brought an audiobook for them to listen to, so he was intentional with that, which was really great. But she didn't want to listen to it. It just wasn't her jam. And so he and I, kept working for about a month, I guess, of separate individual uh, counseling, that we just kept talking through various things. He signed them up for a parenting class at their church. And it is really cool that God has used that parenting class for them to understand grace, grace towards each other, grace towards their child. Uh, he said he's really understood and took hold this idea that he's an ambassador for Christ, uh, and that he's just really willing to represent Jesus in all things, and in his entire life. So it's really really cool. Uh, we're now this is last we just last met last week, and sure enough, they came together, and it was really, really cool. She has seen an awesome turnaround in his life. She just has seen that he's not as agitated, that he has a longer fuse, that he's working to engage their son, particularly at bedtime. At the end of the day, he's not willing to just throw in the towel, but he's willing to just be there with her, with him. And the fact that he goes to these counseling or these parenting classes with her and creates great conversation. And they are just on such a better path. And I just marvel at God that, what he's done in this guy's heart has just really softened it and changed it. Uh, and they're in a great space right now. And we'll see how the next session goes in a couple weeks. But that was just a little update I wanted to give you guys um, with that client that I talked about last time. Moving on to a new client that I've met with recently. He came to me just by himself, but talking about marital problems. That he's been married once before. He got married right out of college. That lasted for a year and a half. And then they got divorced. So this is his second marriage. They've been married for 8 years. Uh, and just to give you context, this is from my counseling center in Washington, Iowa, which is a small rural community, a farming community. And so this guy really fulfills a lot of the stereotypes of a rough, tough farmer. His handshake was firm. It was firm. Which, like, okay, giddy up, here we go. And yeah, he works with hogs. He's also a paramedic. He works right alongside of his dad. Unfortunately, his parents are divorced, and yeah, they've been divorced for 20 years, but they still live in the area and has a good relationship with both of them. His sisters are still in the area, still talks to them. In fact, he's now living with his sister because he's had to move out uh, from his from his home because his wife they're separated at this point. Uh, they have two kids, a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old. They're both boys. They're both his and his wife together. Um, and yeah, let's see. He, I was amazed as he came in a rough, tough farmer guy. I thought they can be not always, but they can be kind of tough nuts to crack, and they can look at things very logically. But this guy was broken. He cried for the better part of our session, and yeah, I was quite amazed at how broken he was. The stuff that he was confessing. Basically, what happened is that for about 3 or 4 months, he had an emotional affair with another woman from this small town that his wife does know. He would go to the bar and meet her at the bar, and he would just get to share his emotional pains and struggles with her, where his wife wouldn't listen to his emotional pains and struggles. And so this was his outlet for that. And yeah, it was a relief for him to talk to her and get that out there to this wife or this lady at the bar. But 3 weeks ago, he confessed to his wife that he has had this emotional affair in between 3 weeks ago and now. He's realized that he doesn't want to flush away his marriage, that he really wants to give it a go, that he realizes he was wrong, and realizes he's following the patterns of his dad that broke him. So he doesn't want to follow those patterns. He wants to be there for his kids. He doesn't want to be the dad that he saw. He doesn't want to be the husband that he saw. That was really, really great. And the bummer from my perspective though is when I asked him about the faith element of his life, he said, "Oh, I attend church just on special occasions, Christmas and Easter, and whatever may come up. If somebody else wants to go, then I might go with them, but I'm not real inclined to go. I believe that I can worship or I can be with God outside of a church building, and I don't have to be with certain people to meet with Him." So I'm working with a non-believer. He definitely did not have the tongue of a believer. Not that that's a tell-all, but when he's saying "Holy JC" or "effing JC," that's a good indication. So really working with a non-believer, and honestly, I'm this would be a lot easier if he was a believer. To be completely honest, I would have gospel language to talk about. He has a lot of shame. I could talk about the gospel and how that, yeah, just gets rid of shame and guilt. And I don't have that. I'm gonna have to take a very outside approach to this client, using fight or flight thoughts, using language of being survival mode and safety, and different things that, yeah, that he's just kind of used in his terms. He's a workaholic, and I'm just kind of spinning things out. Um, so honestly, knowing, yeah, that his wife isn't sure if she wants to stay with him, and he wants to stay with her, but he doesn't know how to rekindle it. And yeah, we've just had one meeting. I'll meet with him again next week. And I guess I'm really looking forward to any of your insights as to really how to come at this and create. My desire is full healing, and only God and the gospel can give that. Um, and and I guess I just need to be patient and process with him and pace alongside of him. Um, but this is kind of my first marriage counseling case where they're not believers and they know that I'm a Christian, and yeah, they know that this is a Christian counseling company. So, like I said, any ideas, thoughts, insights would be fantastic. Uh, yeah, so looking forward to hearing from you guys. Thanks for pacing with me in this journey. Bye.